Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Punch Sports Extra today. I'm your guy, Peter Akimbo, and with me, I have my vice captain, my centre-back pairing, and my supporting striker, Olamide Abe, on the show with you today.
Good afternoon, Peter. Good afternoon to all.
How are you feeling today?
Viewers. I'm feeling very fine and I'm feeling very fine and optimistic.
I trust that. So it's a blockbuster week for us today. We are going to be having numerous actions and numerous activities across different sports. And I am here to give you the rundown. And of course, we know what's on almost every Nigerian's mind that cares about sports today. And we have other activities all across. But starting out strong and starting out fresh and starting out with the Flames, we have the Super Eagles playing Benin tomorrow in Uyo. And we are going to be dissecting that now today. But ahead of that game, on the Punch Sports cover, you will see that yesterday some fans were telling our Bobo, Stanley Nwabali, to calm down because of the previous game in Lesotho where he made 2 errors and one was costly. The second one we were saved, which if the error had resulted in the goal, we would have been out of the World Cup qualifiers totally. So, how do you see the Nwabali discussion? How do you see the Nwabali situation for Nigeria, where it seems like we have no number 2 to our number 1?
I think to everybody that has been complaining about Nwabali, I think it is somehow justifiable, and I cannot say they are overreacting, because when you take a look at how Nwabali got to be the first team goalkeeper for Nigeria, and over the past couple of years now, I think since post 2018 World Cup, which was our last World Cup, we've been having so many instances, so many unfortunate instances that led to Nigerians cancelling some of these goalkeepers. And Uzo was cancelled, Ahmad Kokoye was cancelled, and that was what led to invitation of Stanley Nwabali. And now you should expect that someone that got into the team through the cancel culture might also go out of the team through that. And trust me, among those 3 goalkeepers, Nwabali has performed better than them, because we went to AFCON. He was not just one of the best goalkeepers, but one of the best players. And he led us to AFCON final. We are just 45 minutes away from winning before the Allah and the Adega incident happened, and we lost. And we knew very well that
But do you think the claims are valid? No, let's leave.
Claims are valid, because when you take a look at personally, I think Nwabali is a very good goalkeeper, and he should be the undisputed number 1 for Nigeria.
But do you agree that on seriousness, the issues,
it's not really on seriousness.
The antics, as we were saying,
I believe one thing that I believe about Nwabali is that he shows that he understands African football very well. He plays in Africa, so he knows all this psychology. For example, against Amavubi of Rwanda, that Osimhen was injured. He was visibly angry, and he had to just attack one of their guys that led to a yellow card, and some of the fouls were uncalled for. But we know in football you have to be sportsmanship, but in Africa too, we know you have to show some of this attitude.
But in these crucial last 2 games, do you think that do you not agree that Stanley Nwabali should have maintained an air of calm? Look at Sustekong. Look at even Osimhen that you mentioned. Osimhen that normally is dragging and fighting. In these last 2 games, everybody is maintaining composure, maintaining focus. But Nwabali and maybe Shemi Ajayi were the only ones that perhaps lost their mind in that game. So do you not agree that Nwabali should be told to calm down against Benin?
I think it is justifiable because of what happened against Lesotho. He didn't calm down well enough, and maybe people felt he has too much confidence, he's too comfortable. I won't agree that he's too comfortable, because if in that team, maybe the only undisputed player so far now might probably be Osimhen. So we can drop anybody. So it's not that he's undisputed. If, for example, you have this goalkeeper that went to Germany, that was recently followed by Germany.
Atubolu.
So if we have no Atubolu, for example, Nwabali
would be, yeah.
Nwabali will say, because he knows that this is someone that can actually take up my role. So it's not as if the role is undisputed, or maybe it can never be benched, but it needs to calm down. He needs to let his head cool down.
Okay.
But Nigerians should also
respect that what he has done.
So Nigeria should also be lenient about our criticism of some of these.
I think that, while I agree with you, I think that in the World Cup qualifiers, where we've all gotten ourselves, Nwabali was in all these teams. Nwabali was in all these teams called up that missed out on getting this World Cup ticket earlier.
Yeah.
So since he's part of the team, it's part of the responsibility, and I think that the criticism was very, very valid. But let's leave the past now and go on to tomorrow's game, to the future, to the game that is going to be the be-all and end-all. As Genoro, our former coach, has said it is going to be a final. Coach Eric Chelle also said that this is going to be a final. So this is a final game now against Benin, where automatically we need 3 goals, but goal difference and permutations. If we can get a 2-goal difference win, we are going to have a chance. And then while hoping that South Africa do not win against Rwanda. So how then this unstable situation that we have, this 2-match fixtures, that is Nigeria versus Benin in Uyo, South Africa versus Rwanda, which is meant to be an away game, but it's also going to be played in South Africa. How then are these going to shape up our fixtures? But let me first give the viewers some context. Going into this game, the Super Eagles are going to be aiming for a 3-goal difference win. That is 3-0 or 4-1. If they get a 2-goal difference win, that is 2-0. Since Benin beat us 2-1, we still have a chance to get automatic qualification tickets. Since there was only 2-1 that they got against us, if you look at the head-to-head, while if we get 2-0 win. And then secondly, we need South Africa to lose or draw against Rwanda in their game as well. Igor Brewster said that their fate is in Nigeria's hands. And Eric Chelle and Ekonga said that we are going to leave the calculation to the journalists. We just want to go and win our game. Olamide, they said they left calculation to us journalists. Now we are the journalists. How are we calculating it, and what do we think about the Super Eagles' chances of making it to the Mundial?
To me, I think the thing is, we just provided that South Africa will not beat Rwanda. We just need 1-0. 1-0 is enough.
Because it was 2-1, Abi?
Because the thing is, at the moment, Benin has 12 goes forward, 7 go against. We have 11 goes forward, 8 go against. Yeah. And as it stands, Benin they have plus a 4-goal difference.
Plus 4 goals, and we have
plus 2 goal difference. We know any goal that we score, maybe assuming we are winning 1-0, it's going to be plus.
It's going to be plus and minus.
It's going to be minus since we are playing directly against them. And
do you see why Chelsea journalists should calculate now? So, because we are those that can calculate these things.
So 12-7, they are 12-7.
If
we defeat them
12-8.
1-0, we become 12-8, and our 11-8 we become 12-8
as well.
So, and going by goals forward, we have equal goals forward, we have equals go against, then left to head-to-head. And we know in Africa we still use away goal. So they defeated us 2-1, and we are winning. We
scored 1.
Let's assume
we win 1-0.
So, but the issue here is that if South Africa eventually wins, the 1-0 will not be enough for us to,
because we're going to be vying for goal difference against South Africa as well.
We are going to be competing against some other teams in
for the best place second
in the Inter-Confederation playoff. So, and for us to get into that spot, DR Congo must not win their game. Cameroon must not win their game. Both teams must not win their games because they are 5th and 6th now. And if we are winning, because Burkina Faso won by 4 goals yesterday, we also need to win by a minimum of 4 goals to stand the chance of making that second
qualifiers. Okay, so now that paints a general picture that shows the whole angle for the viewers. But now let's going away from the general angle, going to the 2 most direct routes for the Super Eagles qualification. Let's leave the playoffs and let's focus on the match against Benin alone. Now, we need a win against Benin. We've not been able to win any match by 2-goal difference throughout these qualifiers. Have we? I don't think so. No, we have not. We almost won the one against Lesotho by 2-goal difference. Then the moment of madness, which some are saying that it may not even still be Nwabali's fault because it was surrounded, but let's leave that aside now. So, we've not won any game by 2-goal difference yet. We want to win a game by 2-goal difference. Do you think the Super Eagles can win a game against Benin that beat us before by 2 goal difference. We beat them People forget that we beat them last year in the AFCON qualifiers 3-0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
they were the last team
yeah,
we
we defeated.
by more than.
So now exactly by more than 2 goals. So now again coming up against Benin, against Ganore again. What are the Super Eagles' chances of winning this game by plus 2 goal difference?
Well, I think the chances are very, very slim. And to be honest with you, I don't think we have what it takes, not by talent, but in terms of how the teams has been playing so far. In 9 games, we've only scored 11 goals in 9 games. So that is very, very poor. Very extremely poor. So
for a team of the Eagles standing.
And for a team of Eagles standard, for the fact that we've been playing Zimbabwe,
Lesotho, Rwanda,
and so we've been very, very poor. So if we are unable to do it in the first 9 games, am I sure we are going to do it now? Well, I'm not that sure, because the Benin team that we defeated 3-0 in the AFCON qualifiers are totally different from this.
And you realize that we don't have Ademola Lookman again. Even if he has not been scoring, yeah, that is threat, his presence. We don't have it anymore.
Not that the Benin that we defeated then, maybe not that they've had a change of players or something, but their mentality is way, way different. Psychologically, they are coming into that game with an advantage.
Yes, they are.
So they are primed for qualification.
Mm-hmm.
And it was more like, so far in this tournament, I saw their game against Lesotho. They scored 3 goals in the first half. Second half, I think the game ended 4-0.
4-0.
After 3-0 in first half, I just had to tune the channel away that no, this team is very good. But we played the same Lesotho. It took us a penalty
to get our breakthrough.
And
even the second goal was individual brilliance. Come on.
Yeah.
The second goal was we're not tactically, we're not combining and killing these teams up.
So when you take a look at that game, and you also take a look at some of our wins, aside the Rwanda win away from home,
yes,
almost all our games we've been struggling. The Arokodare goal in Uyo last time out,
everything
offside,
has been
offside. The
one in South Africa
touched the, so it has been we struggling to get a single, not just winning. When you look at teams like Gabon, teams like Ivory Coast,
teams like Tunisia, teams like Algeria,
they were
Egypt,
scoring goals for free. Look at Ghana when they played away from home in Morocco against Central African Republic. They won 5-0. So,
and Jordan Ayew or Andre Ayew, Jordan Ayew is the outright leader. No, Andre is the outright leader for goal contributions in the entire World Cup qualifiers. In Jordan. Africa, it's Jordan. Yeah, Jordan. In Africa, in Europe, in Americas, he's number 1. Lionel Messi is number 2, and number 3 is Haaland. And it is crazy that a Nigerian is not even coming close to these numbers at all. Our goals are coming from different circles. Osimhen has scored here and there. Lukman has scored. Arokodare has scored. Now Ako Adams. Honestly, I think that it's going to be very hard for the Eagles, but as usual, we are going to keep hoping and keep the faith and see what is going to come out from that final review. But it will definitely be a thrilling game to watch, because if the Super Eagles can get that first goal, Benin will come out and we're going to have a very, very amazing game. Let's just hope that no Nigerian has any attack in this game. And if you have any history of stress, please, it will be advisable for you to tune off the match and wait until after the game to hear the results. But moving on from the Super Eagles now to other things that happened across the weekend internationally, on international stage, before we go on to the club fixtures that are coming up this weekend. Kylian Mbappe scored again. Alan missed the penalty, scored the hat-trick again. That is now 10 goal contributions in the last 2 games for Norway. Cristiano Ronaldo missed the penalty. Now the leader outrightly for most penalties missed. Of course, he has taken the most, he has scored the most, but he has also missed the most, now on 34. Messi on 31 or 32. Yeah, and it's just the international window has just offered a lot to see that we are just thinking that it seems like there is now an evidence showing that the Ronaldo and Messi era is fully over. We've been saying that it's over, but these men are still grabbing the headlines. Ronaldo just won the Nations League, scoring a goal in the final. Messi picked up another man of the match for Inter Miami, still scoring in his last game for Argentina in the home stadium. So we're just looking at what we are seeing now of Haaland and Mbappe finally coming into that role. Are we now finally seeing the Haaland versus Mbappe that we said that we're going to see after Ronaldo and Messi? It was seeming like Yamal was picking up, but are we now seeing the Haaland versus Mbappe time? What do you think about that?
Well, I think yes, we are there, and we've been there for some years now, maybe 2, 3 years, not up to 4. We've been there, and it's only when we just want to like deceive ourselves. Ronaldo and Messi era has been over since Messi won World Cup, and even before Messi won World Cup. So we know very well that okay, some of these players are both of these players, their era is over. So we just need someone to like step in, and we got Haaland, we got Mbappe. I think Mbappe came into the scene a year before the World Cup, a year before 2018 World Cup. That was 2017. So, and he has been on the limelight since then, and now is at the center stage. It's between him and Mbappe. I think Yamal is still far behind. Not that he cannot win the next Ballon d'Or ahead of them. He can. And I just believe he's not in their category, age-wise, and I won't say
maturity-wise, experience-wise.
Exactly. So he's not in their bracket yet. If maybe if you want to compare anyone with him, I don't think there's anyone at his, among his peers that you can compare with him. So he's just an outlier in his own generation.
A dark horse.
And we have Mbappe coming up against Haaland. This season they've been fantastic so far. Haaland has scored in 10 consecutive games for club and country now, and he's targeting maybe his first Ballon d'Or. He wants to win Champions League. He won Champions League the last time. He won the Golden Boot, but he lost the Ballon d'Or, unfortunately, to Messi winning World Cup. Hopefully, if he wins the Champions League this time, it's also another World Cup year. Maybe he will not lose it to another person, and hopefully maybe if he's also participating in the World Cup, because he's about to take Norway to their first World Cup in like maybe 5 or 6 editions single-handedly, without taking credit away from Soloth, Odegaard and the like. So no, but at least he has been on the forefront of Norway qualifying for their World Cup. So I believe if he's going to the World Cup, Real Madrid having a deep run in Champions League, Man City having a deep run in Champions League too, and both of them winning league title, facing off at the World Cup, I think it's going to be a very good rivalry that we are seeing this year.
Okay then. And then we are now going on to the Premier League. The Premier League is going to resume this weekend. We have obviously the title chasers, the contenders, the pretenders, and those already in the relegation fights. We have our boy Arokodare, who came this season to Wolves, who are in the bottom. They are still in the bottom, even though they've been able to get a couple of wins now in the FA Cup and back here as well. And then we also have, on our cover out there, we have United, who are, should we say pretender or contender or giants? Strugglers, who they said United have snubbed Tuchel again. They are looking at the managerial change, and Tuchel is not on their list. We also have Chelsea saying that Araujo is not on their radar. So looking at the Premier League landscape and looking at this news that we're hearing, United once again manager talks, Chelsea once again defensive talks. I think ever since Thiago Silva left, they've not had even Thiago Silva that they had was not the Thiago Silva. Ever since Thiago Silva and Rudiger left, they've not had a marquee defender. They've not had the John Terry anymore. They've not had the David Luiz. They've not had a defender that you know that yes, this centre back can hold all and can be like a Van Dijk. They've not had anybody like that. Look at Darabioyo and Chaloba. On their days, they are one of the best defenders, but they are nothing like Gabriel Jesus, nothing like Saliba. And then going on to Man United again with a managerial issue. Will they continue to keep changing managers? Will they continue to be looking for managers? They got Amorim. Ratcliffe has said that is giving him the chance. But just looking at the Premier League landscape as a whole, who do you think who do you think we are going to see running away with it this season? Do you think we're going to see someone running away with this season, Olamide? Or do you think that we're going to have a three-horse race neck and neck like we had in La Liga last season to the final day? Or we have someone running away with it again like how Liverpool did, like how Chelsea have done, like how Man City have done? What do you think we're going to have this season?
So, starting from the Chelsea defensive issues, I think the problem started from Cowell getting injured. I think after the club broke up, because I think Cowell was having a very good partnership with Adarabioyo, and they felt like, okay, this is good for us, and but Cowell was ruled out for a longer period of time. And
Maesca said he doesn't want the centre back.
Yeah, so and then we all knew very well that, okay, assuming Cowell is fully fit, maybe it might have been their new John Terry, maybe it might have been the new Van Dijk, new Vidic, or whatnot, but he was injured and Chelsea were thrown into a crisis. And when you look at their signings over the years, it was not as if they've not been signing defenders.
But they actually
a whole lot of defenders.
Wesley Fofana, a number of defenders.
Most of them were either for option
or loaned out,
get injured or whatever. But now
But do you not agree that they've only been signing prospects? They've not signed the. Look at Saliba for Arsenal. Arsenal also signed him young, loaned him out. He proved himself. They brought him back. Look at Gabriel as well. I think look at when Liverpool signed Van Dijk. There are defenders that you are seeing now. They look at Jadon Branthwaite that Man U have been around. Maguire that Liverpool are chasing. Chelsea are not chasing Maguire. Liverpool are chasing him. Okay, they say Chelsea is on the radar as well, but no. So there are centre backs that we know that these are guys that are ready. Look at Dean Oisin with Madrid. But Chelsea are not chasing. They're always looking at prospect. I mean, Adabioyo was not really a prospect. That one was someone that had been in Premier League proven a bit. Yeah. So, but looking at the pairings, you're pairing Adabioyo with Chalobah, people that have been in Premier League for a long time that have not really fully broken through.
But I think the problem with Chelsea generally is that it's not a defensive problem. When you look at their team, I think they are signing prospects majorly. Though I won't say Joao Pedro is a prospect because he has been a Premier League proven player. But when you look at their best player, Kopama, he was not.
Yeah, he was a prospect.
He was not a proven player.
Pedro Neto too, even.
So most of the players that they've been signing, they were just okay. This player is going to.
And can this prospect take them to the Premier League title, or will they be in that also?
I think they have a good team, but it's not their time yet.
Okay, so whose time do you think it is? Like I
think Arsenal will probably run away with it.
You think we'll run away with it? Arsenal run away with it?
Before the start of the season, when everybody signed their players and the season was about to start, I tipped Arsenal. Even though if I'm watching, I always watch Arsenal. 38 games, 38 watches. But I knew very well.
They're coming up against the Iwobi. I'll be watching with you this time around.
No,
they're coming up against the Iwobi this weekend.
So, but the thing is, when you analyze things objectively, you will know that nobody can catch up with Arsenal.
Not Man City, not Liverpool.
Manchester City
Liverpool with all the record signings.
That is another conversation.
Wow.
City will struggle for top 4. Okay. And I just believe Arsenal will win the league.
So you've heard it here first. Olamide said Arsenal, league winners, Liverpool second, City will struggle for top 4.
City, Chelsea, they will struggle for at least the 3rd and 4th is between them. But Arsenal will be the undisputed Premier League winner this season. Nothing can stop them, I believe so.
Okay, fantastic. So let's move on from the Premier League now. The NBA season, we are going to have the 80th NBA season for our basketball lovers. We have Steph Curry once again here. LeBron James will be playing his 23rd season in the NBA. He said it at 20 that I don't know, let me see 21. Let me see about maybe 21. Made it to 21, got the scoring record, outright scoring record, outright in almost every categories except those MVP titles. He's still neck and neck with Steph Curry on 4, behind Kobe Bryant on 5, behind Michael Jordan, the only man to have 6 finals MVP with 6 titles. And we have obviously the regular players there. We have Los Angeles Lakers. We have Golden State Warriors. But we of course have our defending champions, OKC, with their young team. The OKC have always had young eras. They had the Kevin Durant obviously, Russell Westbrook and James Harden era. Those young cores. But then obviously they couldn't keep them away from the vultures. Look at that Monaco team like we had with Mbappe, and they started stealing Mbappe, stole Bernardo Silva, stole Fabinho, stole everybody. I think Falcao was the only one left, but he couldn't carry that team on. And now again, with in NBA, OKC, they got their stars on. Rockets took James Harden. Kevin Durant was taken to Golden Gate Warriors, but Russell Westbrook stayed, and him alone still took them on, won an MVP title alone, but he couldn't win the league. So now looking at this, their young core, they may again lose one of these their star players. They have Shai Gilgeous. They have number 1 NBA pick who played in the next season, Chet Holmgren. They have the young boys as well. They have a Maxey. So looking at all these players, who do you think is going to win the 80th? 80th. I feel like that's going to be a record, even if it's your first one. For you to win the 80th season, you will go down in the Hall of Fame. You know, Ronaldo scored, I think, the 50,000 or 1,000th goal in Alex Ferguson era, and that is still a record that's going to always be there. So winning the 80th NBA title, even if it's the only one you ever win, I won the 80th NBA title, something that will never be forgotten. So what do you think about that?
I think with the fact that LeBron James is and is nearing his
retirement.
career.
Yeah.
So I felt like, okay, for someone that's played 23 seasons.
This is 22 seasons. That's 22 seasons he has played.
This is his 23rd season out of 80. So that is like about close to 30%.
Yes.
Historically.
Honestly.
So that is like maybe 28 point something or 29% approximately. So I felt like maybe if he leads, or maybe someone.
Yeah, he has Luka. He has Luka Doncic as well.
If he's carried to the NBA title this year, and Lakers eventually probably go ahead to
it will be a good end to the story.
I will be very happy for
him. A perfect fairy tale ending.
Yeah, so because not that that will define his career as the GOAT, or maybe put him ahead of Michael Jordan or whatever, but I just felt like maybe it's going to be an historic milestone for him. Honestly, he won't be there at 90th or the centenary.
Of course.
This will probably be the only time he can mark.
And the final of the NBA season will be played next year, just like the final of the World Cup will be played next year. So if LeBron James can get that, and with the Ronaldo fanboys, if Ronaldo can also get his World Cup that same year, it will be a good vibe.
I think if wishes were Vegas will write. Oh well, it will be a nice fairy tale story. If imagine Ronaldo and LeBron winning, even though LeBron has won before, but that will be the first time Ronaldo is. I might be sad, but I think it's a good thing for Ronaldo and the sports largely. So we'll be able to like say, okay, we want to debate who the GOAT is. Better. My World Cup is here, your World Cup is here, your Champions League is here, your Champions League is here,
your Ballon d'Or is here, my Ballon d'Or is here.
So I think that would be a nice, it would be a nice one. Even though I'm not praying for it and I don't want it to happen, but if it happens, fine. We'll take it like that. It's sports, so it's unpredictable. So we just have to take it like that.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. And coming back to Nigeria over the weekend, Sunday Olise made headlines saying that Nigeria are still owing him some of his wages, which is already public functional as Sunday Olise has been owed. But he has now said that this is the reason why I haven't taken them to court. He doesn't want to be seen as the bad guy. He doesn't want to be seen as someone that is taking his fatherland to court. You know when I don't know, I've talked about football so many times, about Mbappe so many times, but when Mbappe left PSG, some people were like, he may not sue them, they brought him out. But Mbappe sued them for his money. And that is his homeland, that is Paris, that is his country, he loves playing there, yet he sued them. But Sunday Olise is saying that I love my country too much. I can let $23,000, over $20,000. I don't know the exact amount. Over $10,000 go because of I don't want to take my fatherland to a Western court. I want to take them to FIFA. Do you think that somebody says take them to FIFA for his money? Do you think that he will get paid this amount that is being owed?
Well, one thing I understand with my knowledge of Nigerian football is that the money is gone. So the money is gone. It should either take them to the court or stop talking about it, because you can't. And one thing that I do not like about the statement, I do not want to take my father's land to
a Western court.
That, no, you are not taking your father's land. You are taking
a government agency, private.
You are taking the federation. You are taking those that owe you. You are not even
though you
are representing Nigeria. But just imagine someone embezzled this money. So you were due for you worked for it, even though it's a government. The
money would have been signed off.
So of course, so it is your right, unless you are just feeling like maybe you don't want to step on some toes. Maybe you are still optimistic about getting Eagles job one day. Maybe you don't. No, he knows what he's doing. So, and I believe he's someone that is very, very intelligent. So he might just not want to do some things that will anger people at the glass house. So I felt like that is his main point. So he didn't want to step on those of people at the glass house. So he's just trying to like play safe, but letting people know that they still owe me money. Yeah. So if he's still looking ahead to like taking the job in the nearest future,
forget it about
they
it
will still owe him again.
Okay, so rounding up now, but we are going to talk about two final things. the MPFL and athletics. Amuson was the one that led the congratulations for Nathaniel, who just finished graduating from his collegiate school in the United States. United States, yes. He just finished that, and then Nathaniel is someone that really showed up this year. He broke 5 or 6 records this year. Six records this year, and he's now out there, and now he has now finished his schooling, which meaning now he's now a full-blown athlete out there right now. And I'm also led his congratulations, which shows something that was synonymous to me, like a passing of the torch. That me, that's the current #1 in Nigeria in athletics, telling congratulations, boy, come up and come and get it. And one, not forgetting Enikoche as well, who set a record once more. Enikoche has set about 15 records or more in his time in Africa in general. But I think that moving on from athletics now, we have to just round up now on the MPFL. The MPFL, as when they were shining all over yesterday because of the issue that happened with Kano Pillars, with the attacks that the fans came into the stadium. And this is something that we've been talking about for a long time, that the MPFL, no matter what goes on around it, the marketing and all, that the fans, the players, the culture of the MPFL as a whole really has to change for the league to change. Olamide, taking just 1 minute, what do you think can be done to stop this, and what do you think is a valid punishment? Do you think Kano Pillars players should be punished for the actions of their fans? Do you think Kano Pillars board should be punished for the actions of their fans and some of the players allegedly? What do you think should be done to stop this in general, and what punishment?
I think might not really be important because they will not take it. So my opinion is that relegate Kano Pillars to maybe NLO 4.
Is that not too big a punishment?
The reason why I said that is that when you take a look at the history of the Nigerian Premier Football League and you start calculating the teams that's aired most, the most violent team in history of Nigerian football is Kano Pillars. Over the past 6 to 7 years, they've been fined over 36 million naira. So, and there was even a time, the last time they were relegated in 2022 after an incident. In 2022, they were deducted 3 points. The points deduction led to their relegation, and they got promoted. They still did the same thing, similar thing last season. This season, it's even worse. So I believe you should not be attacking players. The fans' mentality must change. And the only thing that I feel can change it is, it's not just 3 points. It's not just pay 10 million, pay 5 million. No, it is total relegation. Banish them to Abeokuta, banish them to Akure. Let them come and be playing in Lagos. We know very well that all the fans in Kano will not come down to Lagos to come and attack people. So if they are playing behind closed doors, we know this is Nigeria, they will be banished to either Katsina or some other neighboring states. But take them away from the north. They push them to Aba, push them to Port Harcourt, push them to Uyo, or wherever, so that they won't have that funds. And when they start suffering, when they are playing home away from home, they will know that, okay, they've been deducted maybe 6 points, they are playing away from home.
Thank you very much, Olamide. I see I'm very passionate about this topic, but we have to go now. They've been clamoring for me, the police are clamoring for me behind. And thank you very much for being with us today. Once again, it's been Sport Extra. Thankful to the team that I have behind me. Thankful to Sulaiman, to Bode, and everybody here. To Margaret and Melanie. Thank you very much, everyone. And thank you, Olamide Abe, for this discussion. I see you passionate about Kano Pillars, but that's all we have time for today. Signing out, Miss Me, Peter Akimbo again. Have a pleasant week ahead. Thank you.
Pleasant week.